What's up guys, Saif Ashraf here. Today we're going to be looking at the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller and we're going to be seeing whether the price is really justifiable and whether you really need to be picking one of these up. With that said, let's get straight into the review. Alright, so first of all, let's go over why you might want to buy one of these Pro Controllers. So the first scenario I can think of is if you often use your Nintendo Switch in its docked mode and you're often using the Joy-Cons in the grip that comes with the actual Nintendo Switch and you just sit on your couch and you play handheld most of the time. Everyone who owns a Nintendo Switch knows that the Joy-Cons are really small, especially with people with big hands. The buttons are all small, the Joy-Cons are small, everything about the aspect is just small down together, obviously because the Nintendo Switch is a handheld console. It can be tiring and it can cause hand cramps and hand fatigue to be using those small Joy-Cons for hours on end, especially when playing long story games such as Zelda and Metroid. Even though the grip that comes with the Nintendo Switch does provide some extra support, it isn't really that well in the long run, it's only just some for your palm. So the Pro Controller is much more comfortable than the Joy-Con even with the grip. Everything is just bigger, the buttons feel much better and clickier, the joysticks overall feel much better as well. However, that's not to say if you do use your controller handheld, that's also another reason. If you just find yourself not liking the Joy-Cons or the buttons are too small and the Joy-Con is just, the joystick's just not that good, then yeah, even using this handheld with the Pro Controller, it'll still be fine. It's just a preference. If you do get tired using the Joy-Cons easily, then the Pro Controller is definitely the way to go. So yeah, so overall, if you are someone who uses the Nintendo Switch more docked and you play for longer gaming sessions, and you're someone that finds that the Joy-Cons are just a little bit small for your liking, then yeah, the Pro Controller overall, it feels like a nice, it has the layout of like an Xbox controller. So if you have had an Xbox controller, this will be similar to that. Now let's talk about the controller in general, in case you are wanting to buy one of these and you just want to see if it's a good controller overall. Now let's talk about the design first, and in my opinion, the Pro Controller actually has a nice design compared to some of the other first party options from other console manufacturers and even other Nintendo Switch full controllers like these types. The top or the base area of the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller has a nice transparent look. Obviously it's a nice black colorway overall, which I actually really like. It has the transparent look which not any other controllers like first party controllers do by default unless you buy a special edition or something. So I actually do like the unique approach that Nintendo went with their Pro Controller instead of just going with the basic matte black approach. All the buttons are also blacked out, so are the joysticks, the D-pad, just all the controller is blacked out and I actually really like it. And then the place where you actually grip the controller has this grippy material on it which feels really nice to hold. Once again, I don't see Xbox and PlayStation coming in with their DualSense and normal Xbox controllers coming in with this grippy type of material on their base controllers, so it is nice to see this added benefit. However, I do want to note that these areas do get quite sticky. If you do sweat a lot when playing games, then yeah, this area does get quite sticky. It wasn't me who found that out, it was actually my brother. He's not even that good at games. And it charges via USB-C at the top of the controller. The top of the controller is made of this glossy plastic, which mine already has a couple of scratches and a load of fingerprints. Personally, if this also matched a transparent look or was just like a matte black look, it would have looked much better. This is destined to get fingerprints and scratches. It also feels really robust, quite solid. If you are someone who rages and you're going to throw your controller across the room, this doesn't feel like it's going to break. Moving around the controller, like just hitting it into my hand, seeing if there's any vibrations or anything, this is really well built. Now in terms of functionality, it's a controller. It works perfectly with the Nintendo Switch as it's made by Nintendo. But yeah, apart from that, I'm a bit underwhelmed though with the amount of features that we get with the Pro Controller. But comparing this to a DualSense controller, which comes in at around the same price, if I read out the list which a DualSense controller has, it has haptic vibrations, a speaker, a microphone, adaptive triggers, and a touchpad. Now I'm sure the average Nintendo Switch player doesn't need all those features, but I'm pretty sure Nintendo, if they wanted, they could have added a couple more features just to make the Nintendo Switch controller unique compared to the rest. I guess they could have added the haptic feedback, or they could have just added something that would just work well with Nintendo Switch overall. And something I don't like about the Pro Controller is that the triggers that are actually on this controller, they aren't triggers, they're literally just buttons with pads on them. Hopefully the Nintendo Switch with their new controller make these into actual triggers. But like I said, the games that you're going to be playing on Nintendo Switch, you won't actually need a trigger. The only game I could think about is Mario Kart, but you just press A or Y or X. I don't actually know what they do. So should you buy the Nintendo Switch Pro controller? Like I said, it depends on who you are. So if you are someone who plays long sessions on the dock, or you just play long sessions overall and you don't like how the Joy-Cons are really small, this will definitely help. It fits in your hand nicely. So in my opinion, yep, it's a pretty good controller, and it is definitely an accessory you want to pick up for your Nintendo Switch. Maybe not now if you don't want to right now, but if you do find a good deal on this, you won't regret picking it up. So thank you guys for watching. This was the review of the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.